He has lived in Scotland for 18 years. He is an influential church minister, home and away. He's met the Queen 4 times and has taught in at least 4 universities. I'm talking about Reverend Lukas Njenga, our guest on today's episode of Daring Abroad. A warm welcome. I'm your host, Alex Chamwada. It's 10 a.m. on a chilly Sunday morning in Glasgow City as 50-year-old Lukas Njenga makes his way to Glasgow International Christian Centre, a church where he is not only the senior pastor but also the founder.
Our worshippers are people from different nations, so we have about 18 nations represented, majority of them from Africa, but we also have people from Malaysia, we have people, Chinese members who are Chinese, we have Indians, and we have few Scottish people and one Irish, yes.
Rejoicing in the Lord is worshiping the Lord, and I'll bring it nicely and clear what that means.
Lukas has been preaching in Scotland for close to 20 years now and is an important figure to the Kenyan diaspora living in the UK. But his journey began back in 1968 in Nakuru. He attended Michinda Secondary School for his primary education before joining Lanet Secondary School for his O-levels. And it is at this point that Lukas, the second born in a family of 17 children, decided to discontinue his education for the moment and seek employment.
I just looked at the entire composition of our family. My brother was quite bright and I could see his opportunities going ahead, and I had other siblings, and I felt that I wanted to sacrifice and maybe try what I can do just to support and make sure that things are going well. I got employed by a company called Elianto Kenya Limited as a casual laborer, and then I did a bit of work with the government in the Ministry of Legislation where they were registering, giving IDs and registering voters and things like that. While working, I registered for A-levels and I did and passed. I also alongside studied theology as a private candidate, and I used to do that in the background.
Upon completion, Lukas went to work at his father's restaurant, and this is when the opportunity to venture abroad came knocking.
Used to host a lot of missionaries and preachers and also translate for them. And in 1988, there was going to be a very big conference in UK that was organized by all the denominations across the world, and they were calling it the International Charismatic Conference on World Evangelization. A selection was being done of people to come, and 2 of us were selected from the Diocese of Nakuru, the Anglican Diocese of Nakuru.
And on 5th June 1991, a young and excited Lukas landed in Suffolk, England.
I arrived there as a missionary. The title was very clear. The information that allowed me to get visa was saying that I have been identified as one of the young potential preachers of the good news that had a future. And I've been invited to come and interact with international preachers so that I can build the capacity as a preacher.
This opportunity was a defining moment in Lukas' life, and once he was through with the mission, he came back and was immediately posted to Kitengela as an evangelist. But as luck would have it, Lukas found himself in the UK once again after just 3 years of ministry.
I went back to the Archbishop and I said I would like to go back and continue with my studies because I can both come back and train people or fulfill a different mission. And the Archbishop was so kind to allow me.
So Lukas, together with his newly wedded wife, relocated to the UK in pursuit of knowledge, a pursuit that further led him to Geneva, Switzerland in 1994, before eventually landing him in South Africa in 1996.
While in South Africa, I got an undergraduate degree and I got a master's degree and I started my PhD. My focus has always been ministry in the community, or what you'd call marketplace ministry, looking at how you can become effective in urban settings where you are engaging with business and people like that.
Reverend Njenga's story continues, but let's take a short breather for our Miles Away segment.
Today on Miles Away, we focus on the county of Suffolk, one of the places that Reverend Lukas Njenga lived. Located to the east of England, Suffolk has a population of about 700,000. Councillor Matthew Hicks, who took office in May of 2018, leads the county. Its administrative capital is Ipswich. The East Anglian County is filled with exciting places as well as hidden gems. One such place is the House of Essex, a surreal art house which resembles a small chapel. There is also the Suffolk Punch, a breed of horses unique only to Suffolk. The horses are known for their hard-working and energetic gaits. Similar to Kenya, Suffolk's major economic activity is agriculture. And that's Miles Away. My name is Michael Zimanji.
Very well, we are featuring Reverend Lukas Njenga. He's lived in Scotland for 18 years. He's a mentor, a community leader, a teacher, many roles. And we met him here at the Glasgow International Christian Center, where he is a senior pastor.
Oh, Heavenly Master, we hold unto nothing. We hold not into our ambitions or our desires.
Reverend Lukas Njenga's thirst for biblical knowledge had seen him relocate to South Africa together with his family to further his studies. And this determination saw him attain an undergraduate degree as well as a master's degree in theology.
Around that time, I met with some friends who were from Glasgow. And as we were interacting what we were doing then in South Africa, they said, "You've been to the UK, it will be good if you can come and help us with what we are doing." So I got quite interested and went back, prepared myself, packed, and started to make my route to the United Kingdom.
Unfortunately, as Lukas was in the process of moving to Scotland, his wife was diagnosed with cancer. This forced him to delay his plans so as to be able to take care of her. They even went back to Kenya, but sadly, on 31st August 2001, she lost her battle with cancer.
It was quite shaking. It almost shook my faith, shook a lot of things that I had held dear, because up to this time I've been a faithful Christian since my childhood, married a Christian. Why would this happen to me? But anyway, God gave me the grace.
But true to his call, Lukas soldiered on and took up his new role in Glasgow, Scotland.
So I came and joined Prayer for the City as a director, and we were working together to develop a prayer network in the city of Glasgow and supporting the people here to just work together. It's like an ecumenical movement that brought people together to pray and focus for what God intended to do for the city.
This sacrifice did not go unnoticed, and Lukas was able to get employment at the Glasgow Caledonia University.
Because of my academic background, I was given some opportunity in the university as a chaplain, but also I did a lot of training. I trained people in different areas while in Glasgow. It gives me a lot of joy to know that some of the innovations and things that we have brought into practice in Kenya were innovated in this university. Most of the Kenyans coming to Glasgow also found opportunities through my engagement with the university to study and go back and apply things that have been of importance.
This opportunity to minister eventually resulted in Lukas opening his church, that is, Glasgow International Christian Center at the university.
What happened is that I was not having a church here in Glasgow, and I had no intentions of planting a church. But in the meetings that we did, people came, either became Christians or they became interested in our teachings. And so they used to meet in my house every Tuesday, and we called it the Impact Meeting. But it was outgrowing our house. So we got a place in the south side of Glasgow, and people continued to meet on Tuesday, having the impact meeting. Then it came to a point people said, we don't want to come on Tuesday, and then we have nowhere to go on Sunday. Most of them had become Christians by then. And so we got a place in Maryhill, and we started the Glasgow International Christian Center. And the numbers were increasing. We had quite a lot of local people, that is Scottish people, attending, and we also had Africans and people from other communities, Asians, Chinese, and all that.
However, this success had its fair share of challenges.
It was really growing quite well until 2014, when the university was facing a lot of issues because of terrorism and things like that. And they said they didn't want non-students to come to the university. So they just wanted staff and students. So we started working out of getting a venue. Then that's how we got this place where we are today. And when we acquired this place, most of the people who had been coming to the university did not move with us. So we only moved with those people who were outside the university.
Help us to know how deep, how high, how wide is your love in Christ Jesus.
Reverend Lukas Njenga's story is long. We have to cut it short for now, but we promise to continue with that story next week.
The Kenyan diaspora are constantly under pressure. They may not admit it, we may not admit it, but we are constantly under pressure to please people back at home. It's not easier earning here than it is in Kenya. You work hard in Kenya, you prosper. You work hard here, you prosper.
Yes, he will tell us why he believes east or west, home is the best. Till then, I'm Alex Chamada, and keep it daring abroad.